Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me on this good Monday. Of course, please make sure you subscribe to me on SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, and of course on YouTube. I'm on TikTok at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod, and I'm also on Instagram at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I know I definitely did. Uh, Hope everybody was safe too. I know there was a couple of, hurricane warnings slash tropical storm warnings that's supposed to be coming up the coast, but it's looking like it's probably gonna turn. So just want to make sure everybody's safe if you're within that path of that storm, just to make sure everybody's good. But we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this thing, man. So Young Thug dropped his album called UY Scuti. And you know what's so crazy? When I first seen the title, I was, man, let me just try to go see how the fuck you pronounce this damn name. Cause I had other pronunciations, so I wasn't really too sure about how this shit was how it was gonna sound if I was pronouncing it right, but it is pronounced UE Scooty. And getting right into it off the bat, the first fucking track. Up until the end, it was okay. It was cool. But the hard ER, dog, the hard ER, like that's what we doing. And then the album cover, like the album cover is just I was like, bro, what the fuck are we doing? I still don't understand the meaning behind that cover. I don't know. I'm like, oh, this nigga turned to Sammy Sosa. Like this is what we doing for real. We're going we bleaching our skin for the album cover. So there was just that was technically that was the first observation was the album cover. And then when we hit track one on it, I'm like, Ninja was the first track on there. And I'm looking at this shit, I'm like, oh, like this is what we doing. I really want to know what the reaction was to people at the label when they first heard that record. Cause I'm looking like, no. And of course you had a couple of white streamers. I seen a couple of white streamers online specifically when that part came on. That was just getting it. So as soon as I heard that, skip to the next track. So this album is what 20 tracks, and it was underwhelming. It was underwhelming. There's nothing that really stands out to me. The only track I really like for real on here is Miss My Dogs, and that's the record that I heard a few weeks ago that he dropped. He had the video for. That's a dope record. But other than that, I don't really like nothing for real. Like overall, it was underwhelming. It low key. It wasn't. It's not overall. It's not a good album. I'm being honest. Overall, it's not a good album. If I really had to give this album a rating, I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, maybe lower than that. I'm being kind of generous because I do like that record. You know, RP Big and Mac with Ti. That's kind of cool. It's kind of alright. But there's nothing really essentially that's kind of drawing me back. What Up Jesus, YF and Lucci, that was a cool record. Blaming Jesus, that was a cool record. But I don't feel like it's nothing that's gonna. I'm gonna keep this album in rotation. And coming off the heels of everything that Thug's been had going on, you know having paperwork battles on the TL. He had his interview with Big Bank. I recently just seen he was on the Pivot. I haven't had a chance to check that out. I kind of felt like this. Some of these tracks, it was kind of he was just throwing some shit at the wall, hoping it would stick. So I don't know. I don't know. This is because everything that he had it going on, so he wasn't able to really get into his true creative bag. But this album is not it at all. It's not it. And I know when he sat down with Big Bang, he was talking about how he wasn't able to really approach music how he wants to because he misses dogs. I mean, he said it on the record. He said it on the record, miss my dogs. But just strictly judging it off the music output, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. Like, and for it to be 20 tracks as well, nothing stands out. Nothing stands out for real. And the features are just I mean, T.I., you got T.I., Mariah the Scientist, Lil Baby, Sexy Red, YFN Lucci, 21, Travis Scott, uh, Lil Got It, 1300 Saint, Future, Mariah the Scientist again on Dreams Really Do Come True. Money on the Floor, Money on Money. That was actually the record that he dropped in March, I want to say, March or April. That was one of the first songs that we heard from when he came out, because he came home in October. And I think that record with Future came out probably somewhere in between that January and March time frame. I don't know the exact date. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, that was one of the records that when he first came out, because when they promoted it, he was like, oh shit, his first single about to be a Future. I know this shit gonna hit. Nah, it really didn't say. This album is not gonna stay. This album is not gonna stay. And I like Big Business. That was his last project that he put out. He put that project out while he was in jail. That album is better than this right here. So maybe it's because, Thug said, he was going through what he was going through mentally. He wasn't really able to tap into his creative bag, but this is not the Thug that I'm used to at all. And this goes back to what I was saying. He's been trending down as far as the music since he's been out. Again, I did like a few of the records that he put out. I did like Miss My Dogs. But other than that, it's lackluster. And for it to be 20 tracks too, you really had to hit. This is a whole bunch of filler. This whole bunch of filler for real. So I don't, like I said, I ain't really got much for it, because I never, when I got to the end of this album, I'm like, yeah, dog, you could have keep that, especially with this fucking album cover, man. That's still crazy, bro. That's still crazy. But UY Scuti, this won't get no replay out of me. None. You're out of here. You're out of here. So there was also rumblings prior to this album coming out with him and YF and Lucci premiering a record together. And they did actually come out with a record together. They each have a record on. I didn't listen to YF and Lucci's album because I'm not really a fan of him like that. But I did listen to the record that he has on his album, because they did have a track together on Thug's album called What Up Jesus. It was a cool record. And then they had a record called, on YF and Lucci's album, called Still Waiting. Still Waiting is actually kind of hard. I'm not going to front. Still Waiting is actually kind of hard. I feel like Thug really was getting into what he, like how we used to hearing him as far as his rapping ability, like skating on a record. That record is actually cool. I fuck with that record. YF and Lucci. Now, if you would have asked me if YF and Lucci and Thug would have ever did a song together, I would have been like, nigga, you crazy. What type of world are you living in? But I said this early this year. In 2025, like really since 2023. 2023 through 2025, nothing is out the realm of possibility. Nothing is out the realm of possibility in this world, bro. We done see some crazy shit over the last 2-3 years. So YF and Lucci and Thug getting on the song together would have seemed fucking insane 5 years ago. It's like, no, that's one of them things that's never going to happen. But we never thought we'd see Gucci and Young Jeezy in the same room, and we did for Versus. I never thought I would see that. So this record's Still Waiting. That's on YF and Lucci's album. That's pretty good. I like that better than the record that they got on Thug's album, What Up Jesus. I do like Still Waiting. So Still Waiting is a dope record. Good to see them too, put aside their differences, come together, do some dope shit. So I salute YF and Lucci and Thug for that record. Still Waiting. You got a chance, go check that out. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got for Thug. I ain't got too much, man. This 2-pack, bro. You can get this out of here. It is what it is. I'm judging the music, and I don't really got much for that. My nigga. You can keep that. Young Jeezy was supposed to drop a new album actually on Sunday, but I was up waiting for this. I was like, man, I'm gonna give him a 30 to a hour window in terms of dropping this album so I can hear it and review it. So I'm gonna have to review that album next week. But it's a Young Jeezy DJ Toomp collaborative album called Still Snowing. He dropped it on his birthday. I don't like when niggas drop on Sunday, because every time niggas drop something on a Sunday, the shit don't never come out on time. It's your birthday weekend. Drop that shit on Friday, but I have to wait till next week to review that, because I did stay up and I record in the mornings. I love to stick to my schedule. I don't like to throw my schedule off, but for Jeezy, I was going to make an exception, but too much time was passed. I'm like, all right, bro, this shit obviously not out yet. I'm not going to waste no time. So I will be reviewing Still Snowing next week for y'all. All right. So moving on, as we all know, Sean Diddy Combs, he will be having his sentencing this week. I think it is on the 3rd or the 4th of October. He is approaching that. And then prior to that, he was having some letters of support to go to the judge to help lighten his sentence. One of the prominent names that stood out, and one of the quotes that we got this week, was from Carisha from City Girls. So when we see this, and this was so funny. because when I first seen it, I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. So let me read what Carisha had to say as far as her support for Diddy in this letter. Insane shit. Insane shit. Here we go. So Carisha, aka Young Miami. Young Miami advocates for Diddy's release in a character statement submitted to the judge ahead of his October 3rd sentencing. He's a man of God, someone who uplifts, supports, inspires those around him, Judge. That's a good man. I'm so sleep on that shit, man. I'm so sleep on that shit, man. One thing I know, I have a good read when I see some bullshit. This is 100% some bullshit. All this is the man got cleared of all his allegations and you want to creep back out your hole. That's all this is. Some opportunist type shit. That's all this. This is some. Now all of a sudden the man, this nigga is a man of God now. Because last year in August you said, when all this shit was going down, when all these things came out, I just needed to take a break and focus on what's important, she recalled. That was me, my career, my family, and let him navigate and figure out on his own because I can't get caught up in that. So, when all this shit was going down, it was, I got to focus on my family. You know, oh, he got to figure that out. Basically, you left the man hanging because y'all was lovers. Y'all was together. We all know what it was. This sounds like some opportunist type shit, man. You want to get back, you want to get back in bed with your billionaire boo, whatever the case may be, all that, but stop it. Now he's a man of God. But none of these words were said when he was when he was facing all these allegations. When he was fighting this court case. There was none of that he's a man of God shit. There was none of that. And that's one thing I can't respect, bro. I can't respect fickle motherfuckers. Like, stand on whatever side it is that you stand on. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she had to completely jump out the window for the nigga. But when you specifically say, oh, he got to figure that out, I can't get caught up in that. It's like you really separating from yourself from this nigga because you ultimately feel like this nigga may be guilty of what the fuck he's being accused of. And you don't want that shit to damage your image. But now that he's been cleared of this shit, the coast is clear for you to rub shoulders with this nigga again. You writing letters of support and shit. I don't respect shit like that. That's whole shit to me. I don't respect shit like that, bro. Whatever, you might as well not have said nothing, in my opinion. Just kept it pushing because not for nothing, like that shit doesn't have died down. Now you writing letters of support, knowing, because I'm gonna be real, and I said this before on an episode back in when he got found not guilty. Even when he does get sentenced, and let's say he does get a short sentence, I still don't see a situation to where he's really welcomed back in open arms within the black culture. I don't see it. I think the Cassie video did enough damage. I really truly feel like that Cassie video did enough damage. I don't see, but again, like I just said 5 minutes ago, it is 2025. We've seen crazier shit. I don't see a situation where artists are going to collaborate with him on projects if he does another album. I just don't see it. And those who will, hey, the masses going to have something to say about it. So you better be mindful. You better tread lightly. But yeah, I don't respect shit like that. That was a nasty display of work. That was a nasty display of work. To say now all of a sudden now he's a good man, he inspires others and all that. You wasn't saying that prior. You wasn't saying that prior. You wasn't. You were separating yourself from that nigga as quickly as possible because you know what came with that. So stay on that side. But that just smells opportunity. It smells like opportunity to me. That's what that is. And I don't respect motherfuckers like that. I don't. Because that's some nasty shit. At any opportunity you want to align with whatever looks right at the time. You don't stand for nothing. It's all about the money. It's all about the bag. Like, that's terrible shit, bro. But we'll see how the sentence goes. In my opinion, I feel like he might get time served. I know the prosecution is looking to really nail him because I'm gonna be real. This whole case, that whole case was executed horribly as far as prosecution. They really didn't nail him for anything. It was a whole bunch of he say, she say. There wasn't nothing that stood out. There was just really just testimonies from people. It wasn't really no hardcore evidence, especially when you did those raids. And I said this before, and by no means was this me defending this nigga at all. But when you accuse somebody of trafficking young girls, see, that was lost within this case, but I paid attention to that. There was never no evidence of him trafficking young girls. So when you do serious charges like that, that's not something you just put on somebody. No, you have to have evidence of that, especially when you're talking about somebody of this stature. That's not something you just put on somebody's jacket and then you don't bring that shit up again. So when he was faced with those charges, I'm like, yeah, you got to come hard, but it was never really nothing that stood out. All that came from this case that he was an abuser and a freak. But he wasn't on trial for the Cassie video. And I said this before, he was not on trial for the Cassie video. I feel like he should be doing time for that Cassie video. I do. I truly feel like he should be doing time for that. That goes without saying. But that wasn't within this case. So I feel like they completely dropped the ball with this shit. If he do get sentenced, I don't see him getting nothing longer than, because he already had been in jail for a year. So if he get 3 to 5, he'll get time served. So he'll probably be home around, 2027 maybe. Good behavior, he'll be out by the end of mid-2026, somewhere around there. I don't feel like he's really going to get hit heavy just based off of what he was found guilty of. You know, he got hit with a prostitution. What did technically he get hit with? Let me see. Because I know he didn't get hit with that specifically. He might have. Let me see. Sean Diddy Combs was found guilty on 2 counts of transporting individuals for prostitution in July 2025, but was acquitted of the more severe charges of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Yeah, that RICO charge was hefty. I felt like they was swinging for the fences on that one. I really felt like they was really swinging for the fences on that. That one was hard pressed to find. But all we got from this shit was him being an abuser, which we seen on video, and him being a freak. That whole raid shit, when all they found was 100 bottles of baby oil and all this other shit, dog, where the sex trafficking evidence? Where's the evidence of this young girl? Or these younger girls, excuse me. We never got that. So I'm interested to see how the sentencing goes because, man, I don't see it. I don't see it at all, man. I don't see him getting, there's going to be a lot of disappointment and people feel like, you know, he faced a maximum of 20 years of prison for these. No, he faces a maximum of 20 years of prison for these convictions with sentencing scheduled for October 3rd. His defense team is currently arguing to have the conviction overturned. It wasn't overturned, so we'll see what happens on the 3rd. But for transporting individuals for prostitution, he's definitely not getting 20 years. That's not going to happen. At the max, I see him getting 5. I see him, and on the low end, if he get time served, on the low end, he gets time served. The max, I see him in between the 3 to 5 window with him being home early, probably on good behavior, and this nigga be popping out back around 2026, 2027 time frame. So that's pretty much all I got for that. But yeah, that Carisha shit was nasty as hell. That was nasty. For you to spin the block like that, especially based off of what you said just in August, it's barely been a year since you said this shit. Opportunist like a motherfucker, man. I don't got nothing. I don't. Brother, I do not respect shit like that, bro. That's so nasty. That lets you know how people move in terms of, you know, what they seek opportunity in, like status, money. Like you can't rub shoulders with motherfuckers like that. You got to be mindful of people like that, dog. That shit is fucked up. But moving on. I came across this video this week at Tennessee State University where these MAGA supporters decided they was gonna take this debate format, and y'all motherfuckers been wilding out since Charlie died, bro. Real shit. Y'all been wilding out since Charlie died. I don't know what make you think this was open door season for you to just pop up on HBCUs and get this debate shit popping. Wasn't gonna happen. Nonetheless, I seen this video of these Trump supporters, you know, trying to go to Tennessee State and have a debate. Nah, them students got them the fuck up out of there. Immediately. They didn't even get a chance to set, from what I seen, they didn't even get a chance to set up their table. They didn't get a chance to set up their table. Them students got them up out of there. You know, of course, they had police, you know, escorting them out of there. So, you know, and they get two out of prison. But what the fuck do y'all think was going to happen? You really thought with the climate that we in right now, it was okay for you and safe for you to get your ass up to an HBCU? Dog, take them shit to them PWIs. Take them shit to them people, and that's how I know that debate format shit that they be trying to have, having an understanding that's on the guys is some bullshit. Take that shit to them PWIs. You're not getting that shit off at no HBCUs, player. You're not. It's not going on. And I was even shocked that they even thought that they could attempt some shit like that. I'm like, oh, they really bold with it. You really thought that you was gonna have a safe space for you to go to an HBCU, Tennessee State at that, and have that debate shit go on. Off of recently what just happened. You really thought that shit was gonna go over well. But see, that's how I know. They purposely pick it. That was just to rage bait. That's all that shit is. That ain't no debate to have, in good faith. It's all a rage bait. So I'm glad they got them the fuck up out of here, man. Get that shit the fuck. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit down. Get them the fuck up out of here. And the rest of y'all who see that shit, you better take notice. Like I said, take your ass to them PWIs and have that shit. You more safer over there. We ain't got time for the shit at the HBCUs and all that. You targeting black people on purpose. We see what you're doing. You're trying to set niggas up. You're trying to get niggas killed. You're trying to get niggas sent to jail. If they don't agree with your shit, get them mad and all that. And your timing was, who the fuck you think you fooling? Who did you think you was fooling? Stop it. Salute to them students at TSU, though. Y'all did the right thing, man. Get them clowns up out of here. So, moving on. ESPN, basketball season is here. It's officially here. October is here, man. NBA season is going to start on October, I think, 24th, between 24th, 31st, somewhere in between there. So, of course, every season, ESPN drops their top 100 players. And again, these are for, who are to be active players for the season. So, of course, you didn't see certain players on this list like Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum. They didn't make the list due to their injury status. So ESPN dropped their top 100. I'm not going to go through the whole 100 list, of course, but I'm a name the notables. So coming in at 100 was R.J. Barrett. Some other standouts. Bradley Beal came in at 86. Brandon Ingram came in at 77. Zach LaVine, 72. Michael Porter, 70. Lou Dort from the Champion Thunder came in at 64. Isaiah Highstar, 56. Draymond Green came in at 51. 52 was Cooper Flagg. Paul George, 54. So a lot of people had questions about Paul George being 54 and Cooper Flagg being 52. How could you rank him that high? He hasn't played yet. We all seen lists of, rookies coming into a year. Victor, he was ranked kind of high in the top 100. Some of these guys already be better than some of y'all niggas. That's just the reality. Do I think Cooper Flagg is better than Paul George right now? Me being a fan of Cooper Flagg, yeah. Now, does he have to prove it ultimately? Yeah, I'm 100% choosing Cooper Flagg right now over Paul George. 100%. I am. And I don't feel bad about it at all. Paul George, he hasn't been consistent over the last 2-3 years. And nigga don't play. He barely play basketball, bro. I seen him in his, the media day. He's 100% ready to go. Bro, I'm off the Paul George. That time has passed. Paul George time has passed for him being an impact player on an NBA team, especially a championship contender team. That time is done. Yes, I'm going with Cooper Flagg over Paul George. Yes, I'm doing that. Sorry. I'm definitely doing that. So continuously moving on, we going into the 50 to 11 pool. Chris Stapps came in at 50, Rudy 49, Joel Embiid 47. So a lot of people had a problem with Joel being 47. And I got to be honest, I love Joel Embiid too, but injuries, they still don't know when he's going to be back. So that had to play a lot into his ranking. Now, do I think there are 46 niggas better than Joel Embiid? Of course not. Of course not. But Joel, unfortunately, he has to play. I did read his article that he had. You have a chance, please go check that out. That dropped in, I think, early May or June. It gave me a new perspective on Joel Embiid, and I grew a lot of respect for Joel Embiid after reading that article. Very, very dope article. Long read, but it's worth the read. I gained a lot of respect for Joel, but Joel has played through a lot of injuries. I got high respect for him. One thing I know Joel will do, he will play hurt. He will play hurt. But it's so unfortunate that injuries, a lot of the times, tackle some of the greatest basketball players we've seen. So I kind of understand why he got ranked 47. Julius Randle, 42. OG Anunoby, 41. De'Aaron Fox, 35. Who else we got? Jamal Murray came in at 46. Tyrese Maxey, 28. Ja Morant, 33. I would have Ja Morant a little bit higher than that. But Ja Morant coming off, another injury that kind of played into it as well. The Grizzlies not really being all that. Trae Young 29. Trae Young 29 is actually, I'm surprised they didn't have the nigga lower. I would have him at least top 25. I can't name 28 niggas better than Trae Young, but we all know why. And him, what's so funny? Trae Young and Patrick Beverly had their little back and forth. Go check that out. This nigga Trae Young barred that nigga up, got him up out of here. Karl Anthony Towns 27. That's too low. Cat is too low. That's too low for Cat. Sengun is not better than Cat. Chet Holmgren is not better than Cat. Pascal Siakam and Bam is not better than Cat. They're not better than Cat. I'm tired of the Pascal and Bam shit. Jaren Jackson Jr. 31. You already know how I feel about him. Imaginary player. Scotty Barnes came in at, where is he at? He's somewhere. He came in at 30. Tyrese Maxey 28. I feel like that's a good spot for him. Jaylen Brown came in at 19. Now y'all been telling me for some time now he's been the best player on the Celtics. I'm trying to figure out how he's ranked 19 if he's the best player on the Celtics. Y'all niggas been telling me that for a while. So somebody who's the best player on a championship team being 19, come on, man. But I know that. I knew that already. I've always said that's his range. His range has always been 15 to 20. It's always been that way. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go from 20. I'm going to name all of them from 20 through 1. So coming in at 20, Kawhi Leonard, Jaylen Brown, 19. 18, Jimmy Butler. 17, Pablo Banchero. I got a lot of stock on Banchero, man. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I fuck with dog. I think he's going to rise. I think that ranking is going to rise going into next year. I love his game, man. I love his game. I think he's going to take the Magic to I think they can get a playoff series win this year. I really do. I fuck with Banchero. Devin Booker, my dog, came in at 16. Donovan Mitchell, 15. Anthony Davis, 14. Evan Mobley, 13. That's too high for Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is not better than Anthony Davis. Cade Cunningham, I fuck with Cade Cunningham. He's definitely worthy of the 12th spot. He definitely is worthy of the 12th spot. I fuck with Cade Cunningham. Jalen Williams, 11. No, sir. I can't rock with Jalen Williams being the 11th best player in the league. That's way too high. I put him in the 20 to 30 range. Maybe 30 to 40. But that's not really a shot, though. To me, you start talking about 11, you start talking about, like, tapping in close to the elite range. I can't say I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great player. When you talking about top 15, you talking about, like, great players. That 20 and down, we talking about great players tapping into elite players. I don't think Jalen Williams is a great player. I think he's a good player. He averages 21 and 5, 21, 5 and 5. He don't really has nothing in this game that stands out to me as far as being an elite level type player. Great player. Excuse me. A great again, tapping into the elite range player. He don't do that for me. I think he's just a solid, good 2-guard. 11, no. So Cade Cunningham is better than Jalen Williams for sure. I'm definitely putting Cade over Jalen Williams. So going into the top 10, we got Jalen Brunson at 10, Kevin Durant 9, LeBron James 8, Stephen Curry 7, Anthony Edwards 6, Victor 5, Giannis 3, Luka 3, SGA 2, Joker number 1. I'm not really mad at this top 10 as far as the group, and I do a little switching around. I got Luka as my number 1. My top 5 would be based off this list. Luka number 1, Joker 2, 3, Giannis, 4, SGA, and 5, Victor. Now, if Tatum was playing, I had Tatum at my 5. But Victor being 5, 100%. I had Victor as a top 10 player ending the season. I had him like around the 7 to 10 range. But going into, Victor is 100% the 5th best player in the league. Victor has a chance to go down as arguably the best player in the league. You already know how I feel about who my GOAT is. I haven't got to say it. You already know. But Victor has a chance to go down as arguably the best player to ever play this game. It's nothing that he can't do. Of course, he's about 7'5", 7'6", with handle, can shoot the 3. His defense goes without saying. Offense-wise, he got all the skills. I saw him getting with Akeem and KG in the weekend. He's 100% worthy of being the 5th best player in the league. The only thing that's stopping Victor is him. And I know he had the blood clot issue that cut his season short last year. So, Victor's on pace to do some amazing shit. So, I'm not really mad at this. Anthony coming in at 6. That's cool. Steph Curry 7, LeBron 8, KD 9. I still got KD as a top 10 player. What he's doing at his age, going a year like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. Going into his 19th year. Yeah, KD still getting busy, still putting up 26 a night on high efficiency. Elite efficiency. Let me look up KD stats real quick. KD still filling it up, bro. So last year he averaged 26 on 52% shooting, 43% from 3. Come on, bro. And y'all gonna tell me KD not top 5 all time? Y'all got me fucked up. Y'all got me fucked up, man. Really got me fucked up. But hold on. Let me go back to the top. Joker, you already know how I feel about Joker. Come on, man. Stop it. Luka, I think is gonna be the MVP this year. He had the great weight loss in the offseason. I think he's primed to really fuck the Western Conference up and the NBA as a whole. But specifically the Western Conference, because of course he's in the Western Conference. But I think Luka will be the MVP this year. I really do. I think he's gonna do some tremendous shit. I still think he has a chance to do better than what we've seen from him. Like, he's still in his prime. Like, he's 25, 26 years old. And I think with that fire that he has from how that season ended, of course, with him getting traded from Dallas, I think he's going to go on a fucking tear. He was doing this thing as far as Euro basketball during the summer, but I think he's going to go on a fucking tear. So, again, my top 5 would be Luka at 1, number 2, Joker, number 3, Giannis, 4, SGA, 5, Victor. Jalen Brunson being at 10, I'm not mad at that at all. I probably would have him a little bit lower, but I can't argue that. Jalen Brunson is arguably the best, point guard in the league right now. I probably would have him and Steph. I wouldn't have probably Steph that high. I probably have Steph around the 9, 8 range. I definitely got KD over Steph. LeBron James and Steph, probably a trade-off. But Jalen Brunson being at 10, I'm not mad at that. His 2024 rank was 12, so that's about right. Giannis continues to do historic shit. Giannis he finished the season averaging another 30-point double-double, bro. And his shot is still getting better. I still think Giannis is getting better. Like, Giannis is not trending down. He's still getting better. That's what's so crazy about Giannis. Like, for Giannis to be doing the shit that he doing, it's amazing. Because that's like his stat line. This is his 3rd straight year averaging 30 and 11 on 60% field goal percentage. Like, come on, bro. This nigga averaged 30 last year on 12 rebounds, shooting 60% from the floor. Come on, man. Giannis, he's definitely already all time. I already got him as a top 10 player all time. I think he's the only power forward I got over him is Tim Duncan. So the only thing he got to do is continue to add to his resume. But Giannis has definitely improved and honestly, his MVP years in 2019 and 2020, his last 3 years are better than those MVP years. That's what's so crazy about Giannis. His MVP years in 2019 and 2020, right? When he averaged 28 and 29 and 13 rebounds and 11 rebounds. And then at that time, he was 55% from the floor, 56% from the floor. Bro, his last 3 years combined, he's at 31, 12, and 60% from the floor. Cleaning up his MVP years. So salute to Giannis. But yeah, overall, the top 10, I don't really got no gripes. For real. This is a solid list of the 5. So again, ESPN's top 5 is Joker, SGA, Luka at 3, Giannis at 4, Victor at 5. So I ain't really mad at that. I'm ready for the NBA season to start. Oh yeah, let me see. Yeah, let me see where Zion is at, because I definitely got to talk about Zion. Where did he come in ranked at? Zion came in ranked in at 61. So Zion, let's talk about Zion, y'all. Let me talk about Zion, because we do this. It seemed like it's been 3 years in a row we continuously do this thing. Zion Williamson has played 70 games one time in his career. That was the 2023-2024 season. Outside of that, his rookie year, he played 24 games. 2020-2021, he played 61 games. Didn't play in the play-in game. 2022-2023, he played 29 games. 2023-2024, he played 70 games. Last year, he played 30 games. We're going into year 7, and we're still talking about a breakout year for Zion. It's over. It's over for that breakout shit. You're in year 7 now. We just need you to play consistently throughout the season. That's all niggas really want. 70 games or nothing from here on out. That's the expectation. Zion Williamson was, we tagged him generational for a reason. We all know all the shit that he had going on off court, all the distractions and all that. I was a defender of Zion. I never felt like he was around that 300, 315 range. I never believed that. Do I felt like he should have had a certain playing weight? Yeah, I always felt like Zion should be playing around the 270 range, 260 range, somewhere in between there. I do feel like the reports of him being, 300 and all that was kind of crazy. Like, and if he was, okay, cool. But I never really fed into that because I always wanted to see. I seen the potential. But I said this before, talent and potential don't mean shit if you're not working on your skills and ultimately if you're not on the floor. Now, I'm not saying Zion don't got the skills. He 100% got the skills. When he's healthy, he's putting up 22, 5 and 5. At his peak, we seen this nigga put up 27, average 27 on 61%, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Like, yeah, that's what we expect from Zion. We expect from him to be a 27, 7 and 7 guy. But you got to play the games, bro. That's really all it is. You got to play the games. We can't be going to year 7 still saying, what if? Oh, this is the breakout year for him. No, this is peak prime of Zion. Zion is 25 years old. The time is now. It's no more this, hey, the Pelicans believe in the nigga. They invested 250 M's into this nigga. 250, 300, somewhere in between there. You got your money. It's time to lock the fuck in. Chill with the off-court distractions and all that bullshit, and let's get busy. That's what I want from Zion. I want to see Zion get fucking busy. Because I believe he could be one of the greatest players to ever play his game, but you got to be on the fucking floor, dog. That's all it is. That's all I need from you, is to be on the floor. That's it. So that's really all I really got for this NBA, the NBA season top 100, my outlook and all. I'm ready for the season to get started. I definitely saw the media days from a lot of teams. So I'm just ready. I'm ready for basketball season. October through January is like peak. That's like peak, with sports and entertainment and everything. Like October through February, because Super Bowl's in February. October through February, oh man, that's peak time of the year. Peak time of the year for everything going on. Music, culture, weather, all that shit. That perfect time. And if you're into content, if you ain't getting busy in between October and February, you don't love this shit for real. That's all I really got to say. That's all I really got to say. If you ain't getting busy in between them months right there, you go ahead and pack that shit up. You wasting space. Let somebody else take over. So moving on to some NFL news I want to talk about. So Jaxson Dart, will be getting the start in New York. So, of course, by the time this episode I play, he already had his first start. And if he comes out the gates blazing, cool, salute him. But I'm not really a fan of this. And the reason why I'm not a fan of this is because I don't feel like it was necessary. Granted, you don't want to just have your team not winning games. Cool. But the Giants really don't have no expectations of winning, in my opinion. Now, had they been down? Yes, of course. So I'm not saying in the context of they should just be taking L's. But I look at Jaxson Dart as a development quarterback. I feel like as if, yes, keep Russell Wilson in there. And if not, put Jameis in there. You get what I'm saying? So he can really soak it all up. Throwing him in there, because what's going to happen is this. If he does start, playing well and the Giants are winning games, it's going to be some high expectations to maintain that going in the next year. And we all seen these sophomore slumps. We all seen them. So that doesn't mean that it's going to be guaranteed to be the same going into the next year. Like, I just feel like we need to kind of get back to letting quarterbacks sit and develop. That's ultimately what I'm saying. Jaxson Dart, it's not like he was drafted in the top 5, top 10, where the top 5 quarterbacks were throwing him right in. I think you should kind of protected him a little bit. If you wanted to bench Russ, cool, throw Jameis in there. But let him hold the clipboard. Let him get it. I understand. We saw a lot of flashes in the preseason, so you're anxious. You're ready. They ready to see Jaxson Dart. I get it. But you do got to have patience sometimes as an organization and as fans. But it's New York. I understand. I get it. But I truly believe putting Jaxson Dart in now is a mistake. I really do. I really do. I feel like for him to truly flourish, just let him sit for this year. If you want to start him next year, cool. But let him sit this year. You know, throw him in at the end of some games where, you know, you're probably up. But I wouldn't give him no starts this year. I wouldn't. And if I was, I'd probably do it like way toward, I'm talking about week 17, 18 type shit. But to do it now, I feel like it's doing him a disservice as far as his development. That's really all I'm saying. I did see that news, and the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall. After that last loss, because he had a hell of a game versus the Cowboys. He had a hell of a game versus the Cowboys. But this probably is the end of the road for us. If not, it was a Hall of Fame career, great career. I did see that topic come up as well. Is Russ Hall of Fame worthy? He 100% is. And I seen a comparison with him and Eli. But I'm not putting no fucking Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame, and Russell Wilson ain't getting in that bitch. I'm sorry. It's not happening. The Super Bowl MVPs is doing a lot of lifting. This is not me shitting on the Super Bowl MVPs, but we do have other players who got Super Bowl MVPs who ain't Hall of Fame worthy. Eli Manning don't got no all-pro seasons. None. He got a few years leading the league in interceptions. 3 if I'm not mistaken, but Eli just don't have, and the fact of the matter is you get in the Hall of Fame based off of your stats and your accolades. More so your regular season stats. It ain't just the playoff shit. Eli Manning got 2 playoff runs that are legendary. I get it. But overall, nah. Russell Wilson definitely. If Eli Manning gets in the Hall of Fame, Russell Wilson 100% deserves to get into the fucking Hall of Fame. That's where I'm at with it. And that's how we giving it up, man. So if this is the end of the road for us, you know, hey, man, salute. You had a great career, but I do believe his time is up. I don't know. The Bengals might need a quarterback, so they might either call him up. I felt like they should have went and got Jameis. I don't know why they didn't go get him. So that's where I'm at with it. So moving on. College football weekend. Upset weekend. Upset weekend hit early in college football. I'm going to go ahead and get to my squad last one. I'm going to go ahead and get the others out the way first. So, some of the upsets that happened. Oregon went into Penn State and handled business versus Penn State. They won 30-24 in overtime. Drew Allard threw a game-sealing interception in the second overtime. I've never been a fan of Penn State like that. I'm going to be for real. They don't never seem to come out and win the big games. Never. It just never happens, bro. It never happens. These niggas never come out and really get busy. I know this is going to be the game that, does James Franklin finally get it done? No. They don't. You know, Oregon dominated them as far as total yards, had 424 total yards. They didn't have no turnovers. Penn State had one. 20 first downs to Penn State's 15. Penalties kind of even. Time possession, Oregon 33-26. This was a huge win for Oregon. I'm not a huge fan of Oregon either. I feel like they're imaginary players too. But to go into Penn State, undefeated, number 3 team in the nation, and handle business, that kind of gives them a new look. I can see them getting bumped up to number 2 in the nation as far as their ranking. But yeah, I didn't have Penn State winning this game anyway. I had Oregon going in there and handling business. Alabama, you know, they kind of got a resurgence with Kalen DeBoer because there was a lot of rufflings about him getting fired. I always said when he got the job under Saban, he was going to be under the live fire. You got to get that man at least 3 years. I understand he lost to my Noles early in the year. He, you know, on paper, he wasn't supposed to lose that game. But Kalen DeBoer, I think he deserves a chance. So they went into Georgia. They handled business. 24-21. You know what's so crazy? They didn't even score in the fucking second half. So Georgia definitely left opportunities on the floor. But, hey, it is what it is. They went in Georgia, handled business, 24-21. Simpson, he kind of – Ty Simpson, he kind of, hey, got an eyebrow raise from me, man. He went to Georgia, had a great game, 21-38, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Gunnar Stockton, I'm not really a fan of him, 13-21 TD. But, yeah, the fact that Alabama's defense showed the fuck up. They definitely showed the fuck up, man. They didn't allow Georgia to really capitalize. They went for a couple of fourth downs in the third and fourth quarter, and Georgia couldn't capitalize, bro. They couldn't. Georgia defense did all they could to hold Alabama because, again, Alabama didn't score at all in the second half. They scored 17 points in the second quarter alone. They had the touchdown in the first half. So they led 24-14 at the half. And Georgia wasn't able to get that shit done. So that was a huge upset for Alabama as far as this season and getting them back on track. They definitely going to jump back up into the top 10 after that win. Probably get ranked right at 5. because that was huge for them. We had another great game that happened between this wasn't we had another upset between Ole Miss and LSU. LSU just gonna continue to be, ever since Brian Kelly's been there, they've never really been able to get over the hump and establish them as one of the best teams in the nation. They came to this game ranked 4th, and Ole Miss handled business. Shout out to Lane Kiffin for getting that win. They won 24-19. You know, they're 5-0, so they're definitely going to get ranked up into the top 10. You know, LSU, they're definitely going to go down in that. Any other upset I'm missing? I want to make sure I'm not missing anything before I get on my niggas. LSU and USC was a great game. Illinois won that game 34-32, but shout out to the wide receiver from USC, Mekhi Lemon. That nigga was balling. Like, he was getting busy on niggas. Like, I was looking at that like, goddamn, who is this nigga? Mekhi Lemon had 11 catches, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. That nigga was showing his ass. So salute to him. That was a big game. But my Noles, I cannot believe we lost to the fucking Virginia Cavaliers, bro. I still can't believe that shit. I did not see us losing this game. I saw us dragging the fuck out these niggas. We lost 46-38 in double overtime. Our defense didn't show up. We swung momentum early with the fumble by Sawchuck, but then Deuce Robinson had an opportunity for a game-time touchdown in the double overtime, but this nigga bobbled the shit like 3 times. They reviewed it, said it was incomplete because his hands came off the ball for a split second when he got his second foot in bounds and didn't really secure it till he was completely out of bounds. But this game was some bullshit, bro. Like, we didn't show up. We completely didn't show up. Team stats. Let's look at the team stats. So they had 440 total yards. We had 516. We just let that quarterback do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. Like, this guy Morris had. Let me look at this game, bro. So he had 2 touchdown passes. He had 3 picks, but he still had 2 rushing touchdowns, I believe, man. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck are we doing? Because I think he had. Let me see. Let me go back. Game lead. Well, he was 26-35, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Let me just go to the box score. Yeah, this dude was 26-35, 229, 2 touchdowns. He had 3 picks. But he had 3 rushing touchdowns, bro. This man had 5 total touchdowns. Like, our defense did not show up. Like, this was a very disappointing loss for my Noles, bro. Very disappointing. There's no way we should have lost this game. They don't fuck with the ACC already. We ranked 8th. We probably going to get ranked down to 25 because Virginia wasn't ranked. We might go unranked the way they fuck with us, but very disappointing, man. I feel like, imaginary players territory, man. I'm just being honest. Imaginary territory. And honestly, going into this Miami game, man, we going to smoke the fuck out of Miami. What y'all niggas thought I was going to get on here and, bend the knee for Miami, man? Fuck the Hurricanes. We about to handle business. We going to get back on track. Don't get it fucked up. We slipped up in Virginia. But we 100% handling business versus Miami, nigga. I'm not about to sit up here and Miami. No, sir. As long as we handle business versus Miami, which I think we will in Tallahassee, we get back on track, we'll get back into the playoff conversation. We're going to be all right. Y'all niggas thought I was going to bow down to Miami? No, sir. No, sir. We'll get back on track next Saturday versus Miami. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. That defense going to get back on track because that was ridiculous. So, that's pretty much all I got this week, man. That's pretty much all I got this week. Like I said, October is here, man. October is already fucking here, man. This year is a wrap. Technically, we are heading into the 4th quarter, man. So, hey, reflect on your year, man. What did you get done? What did you get done? It's so funny. I came across something the other day. I seen a guy say, we're living in a world where we experience and use other people's dreams. And I sat back and I thought about it. I'm like, damn, we really do. We really do live in a world where we're experiencing and using other people's dreams. Like this camera that I'm looking at, that was somebody's dream. This laptop was somebody's dream. This microphone was somebody's dream. That stage light was somebody's dream. This carpet was somebody's dream. This chair was somebody's dream. These clothes was somebody's dream. The phone was somebody's dream. This desk was somebody's dream. Electricity was somebody's dream. Cooking was somebody's dream. AC was somebody's dream. Heat was somebody's dream. Like, everything that we really use on a day-to-day basis was somebody else's dream. So what is your dream? Because they said one day, I'ma invent this and change and or impact the world or be a necessity to this world. Somebody woke up and said, I'ma make that hard drive. I'ma make the outlet. I'ma make this charger cable. So if you have a dream, ultimately what I'm saying is go after that motherfucker, man. Go after that motherfucker, because I'm going after my shit. I'm going after mine. I can't believe I'm 21 episodes into the shit, man, and I'm so proud of myself, man, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, bro. And that's another thing. Like, you really got to enjoy what you're doing. Like, you really can't, and I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Don't do something because you're bored or the last thing didn't work out, so you're looking for the new high, because a high don't last that long if you're just looking for it. It's already in you. This is my natural high. I'm not chasing a check. I'm not chasing money. I'd be a lie to say I wouldn't love to have that one day. Yes, but I'm chasing excellence with this here. And I know with me chasing excellence, the money will come. Opportunities will come. What I value more, honestly, is the opportunities. So everybody who had a dream, they was looking to impact the world and have an opportunity just for others to experience it. That's all they was doing. They was chasing the opportunity and for people to see it and experience it. And that's all you really got to do, man. Because when you put the effort into it, the time, you will be blessed in ways you can never imagine, man. And you got to speak that shit into existence too. Speak that shit into fucking existence, man. Speak that shit into existence. You got to talk like you are. When I say I'm the best solo podcaster in the world, I fucking mean that shit. I mean that. I'm saying it now because I truly believe I am the best solo podcaster in the world. But in me saying that don't mean whoever else is in the podcast and you ain't the best. You should feel like you're the best. If I come across somebody else shit and they saying the same thing, I love that and I respect that shit because I know that's somebody who take their craft seriously. I respect that shit. So yes, I am the best solo podcaster in the world. So if you're into cooking, you better say you the best fucking chef. If you the best carpenter, you better say you the fucking best carpenter. If you the best singer, say you the best singer. If you a rapper, say you the best fucking rapper. Nobody fucking with you right now. If you the best, if you an engineer, say you the best fucking engineer. Cause you gotta speak that shit into existence, dog. Nobody's gonna see that shit before you. And nobody gonna believe in that shit if you don't believe in that shit. And you gotta see it before everybody else. And nobody's gonna promote yourself more than yourself. That's a fact. So that's pretty much all I got for this week, man. Continue to strive and chase your goals, chase your dreams. And ultimately, man, get in that gym. Stay in that gym. I always say get in that gym, man. The gym will do wonders for you, man. And ultimately, please be safe. So like I say every week, man, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike. And I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.